Hi, in this video we're going to highlight some of the things we really like about the Dyson V15 Detect, and that's this unit right here. Now, we got this one in Canada, and it's called the Dyson V15 Detect Total Clean. Now that's actually the same unit as the Dyson V15 Detect that you get in the States. So what do you get with your V15 Detect? Well, we've got it laid out here and we're going to quickly walk through it. This is your handheld component. You've got the filter mounted on the back. The click-in battery here is on the bottom of the machine. This is a charger. We've got a wand. That's the high torque cleaner head. This is a laser slim fluffy cleaner head. You've got a crevice tool, a stubborn dirt brush, a mini soft dusting brush, and a combo tool. This is a wand clip. Now this will clip on your wand and hold any two of these four tools. So you've got a couple of tools with you when you're out vacuuming. This is a hair screw tool. It's actually motorized. It doesn't fit on here. It's fairly heavy. We have a wall mount, comes with a couple of screws and a couple of drywall anchors, and we've got a little bit of literature here, some safety information, and some wall mount installation instructions. Now, we did not get a manual with our machine. I don't know if that's a new thing, not to provide manuals, but they are easily available online. You can view them, you can download them. We actually have them on our site as well. We really like that the V15 comes with two cleaner heads. You've got your high torque cleaner head. This is the one you're going to use on carpet, and you can use it on hard flooring if you want to. And you've got your laser slim fluffy cleaner head. This is the one you're going to use on hard floors. Now, it used to be that to get two cleaner heads, you used to have to buy the absolute version of the Dyson cordless. Those were the most expensive and sometimes hard to find. The V11 Absolute, for example, was kind of tricky to get in the US. Now the V15, it comes with both. I kind of like the laser feature built into the fluffy cleaner head. You know how if the sun shines on your hardwood floor at just the right angle, you can sometimes see hidden dust and debris? Well, it's kind of the same principle here. The laser is designed to emit light at just the right angle on your hard floor to highlight hidden dust and debris. Now, it doesn't work on carpet or anything, but what we're going to do here is run a clip of us using the laser slim fluffy cleaner head on a hardwood floor with a little bit of debris. You can see how a lot of that debris became more obvious once the laser was turned on. Now, when we first read about this feature, we thought, it sounds a bit gimmicky and all, but it really does help. And I'm surprised at how many people really like it. I've read a ton of reviews on the vacuum cleaner, and a lot of owners really love the feature. It's great that you can easily access the brush rolls in these cleaner heads should you need to do a little maintenance or something. Now this is the high torque cleaner head. I'm going to try to take the brush roll out here. You can see there's a slot for a coin or a screwdriver. Now we just turn that counterclockwise and you can see that this comes right out. Very easy if you need to get rid of, say, some hair, some thread, anything on there. And it's pretty easy to put back in. Slide it back in. Always put the flat part here at the bottom and then turn it a little to the left. There we are. Or a little counterclockwise, and then just snug it up. And it is good to go again. Similarly, on the laser slim fluffy cleaner head, you can take this entire brush roll out and you can actually wash this one. Now this is pretty easy to take out. Little kind of a slot in the end there. You just pull it down. Voila, whole brush roll comes out. Now, there is a cap here. You want to take that cap off. You can just give it a bit of a tug. Now, that can actually be washed, and of course, when it's completely dry, you can try to put all this back together again. It's usually pretty easy. Slide it in. There we are. Okay, and this just snaps back into place, and it's good to go. It's great that there's now anti-tangle technology in the high torque cleaner head that you can see here. We've got, one thing is these kind of ridges around rows of brushes, and that stops the hair from binding up too tight against the brush roll. And I'm going to tilt this back, and you'll see just up here all these teeth. This is actually like a comb, and the brushes roll through that comb, and the comb helps to pull the hair off of the brush roll, and it should get sucked up into the dust canister. So how well does this anti-tangle technology work? Well, we're going to put down short white pet hair and long black human hair on the carpet and run this unit over it. The anti-tangle technology worked really well. I think you can see there was no hair left on the brush roll after the test. It was all up here in the dust canister for easy disposal. Now, this hair screw tool also has anti-tangle technology. This does not have a comb. It actually has a brush roll that tapers. It's quite wide at this end and quite small at this end. The idea is that the hair that gets pulled up actually spins from the wide end down to the small end, and then there's a suction hole here, comes up through that, and then gets sent off to the dust canister. We're actually going to run a test with this to see how well it works. The hair screw tool did a great job of picking up the pet hair, keeping it off the brush roll, and getting it into the dust canister. You gotta like the click-in battery. This battery can be easily removed or put back on the machine. Now there's a couple of advantages there. One is you could charge it while it's on the machine, and you can also charge it while it's off the machine. In addition, should you go out and buy a second battery, you can effectively double the runtime of the vacuum cleaner. So if you're vacuuming and you've depleted one battery, well, you've got another one that's hopefully been on charge. You can pick it up, take this one off, pop the new one back on, and continue vacuuming. We like the power of the V15. What we've got here is the suction power as provided by the manufacturer in the 3 different power modes. So in Eco Power mode, you got 26 air watts of suction. That's actually the same as the V11. In Medium Power mode, 47 air watts of suction. Well, that's up about 22% over the V11. And in Boost Power mode, 230 air watts of suction, and that's up about 24% from the V11. So in these 2 power modes, it really is quite a bit more powerful than the V11. Now, there is an auto power mode. We haven't got that listed here because the suction actually varies. It automatically goes up and down, and that's a function of the floor type and the amount of dirt encountered. We'll talk about that a little bit later. All of the Dyson cordless vacuums we've tested, they all move really well, and the V15 Detect is no exception. We've got the laser slim fluffy cleaner head on here on tile floor, and as you can see, just moving your wrist back and forth pivots the head. It's incredibly easy to do. Great for going up against edges as well. You can turn it, run it along. Excellent movement on hard surfaces. The Dyson also really moves well on carpet. With a lot of the other cordless machines from other manufacturers that we've tested, we found, for example, when pushing it forward, it tends to float a bit on this carpet surface. It doesn't go in a straight line very well. That can be a little annoying. And when you're turning the cleaner head, sometimes the vacuum tends to still get a lot of forward motion. It doesn't move in the direction of the turn like you want it to. Those things don't happen with the Dyson. And I'm just going to turn it on and move it around a little bit. So straight forward, straight back, absolutely no problem. Turns very positively, nice turns, easy to use, great movement on carpet. We really like the auto power mode. It provides optimal suction as you go about your vacuuming. Now, it only works when you've got one of these three cleaner heads on. The high torque cleaner head, the laser slim fluffy, or the hair screw tool. If you use something like a crevice tool or a mini soft dusting brush, anything that's non-motorized, well, it becomes medium power. So you can actually see in the LCD control panel with these three cleaner heads on, you see auto. With anything else, you'll see medium. So how exactly is auto mode working? We've done a little bit of experimenting. I think we know. So let's start with the high torque cleaner head. It's looking at two different things. And the first thing is brush roll resistance. So there's a sensor in the cleaner head that's determining the resistance on the brush roll. So for example, if you're on carpet, there's a significant amount of resistance. That's going to result in the machine having high suction. Were you, for example, to transition from carpet to bare floor, well, that brush roll resistance is going to drop and the suction will therefore drop. In addition, it's looking at the amount of debris. Actually, it looks at the number of particles in the airstream that are being brought into the vacuum cleaner. It has a piezometer that actually counts particles. So if you go from an area of a small amount of debris and you pass into an area with a lot of debris, the number of particles is going to increase and therefore it's going to increase the suction. Now, this fluffy cleaner head and the hair screw tool, they do not pay attention to brush roll resistance. I believe they're only looking at the number of particles in the airflow. Next, we're going to show a really quick clip where we have the high torque cleaner head and we start on carpet and we transition to a tile floor and then we encounter a little bit of debris. Now, you should be able to hear the suction move up and down a little bit. It's kind of subtle, but you will be able to see the runtime in the LCD control panel as it moves up and down. Now, it all happens kind of fast, but give it a watch. It's nice that the V15 is pretty easy to empty. Now, it's the same configuration with the V10s and V11s, and they all work fairly well. You've got a red lever here on the bottom, give it a push forward, and at the end of that extension, the bottom door pops open. Hopefully your dust and debris fall out. Sometimes you may have to reach in and pull a little bit out. Now to close it up, I tend to use the red lever and pull back on that and then close the door. I see that some people like to hold on to this canister, close it up that way and close the door. Mounts to the same thing. Now, there's one other thing about this. Sometimes a dust canister after a lot of repeated use gets kind of grubby. Maybe you want to wipe it down. Well, they've made that pretty easy. You open the dust canister. Underneath here, there's a red tab. I don't know if you can see that. It's got the number 1 on it. Just push it in. It just pops right off. Very easy then to give it a little bit of a wipe down. Putting it back together, pretty easy again. Here a little click. Close it up. You're done. We think the carpet cleaning performance of the V15 Detect is pretty good. Now, we performed a test. We created our own debris of chili flakes, flax seeds, and split green peas. We put an amount of that together, carefully weighed each component, and we laid it down on this low pile carpet in about a 5-foot long strip, passed the vacuum over it in one pass, one in eco mode, one in auto mode, and one in boost mode, and we determined percentage pickup. So these are the carpet cleaning results, and we've got them in a table here. We've also got V11 results just to provide a little bit of perspective. So let's first look at Eco Power Mode. V11 96.7% and the V15 95.0%. So the V15 is a little bit lower. So what's going on there? Well, I don't know for sure. I can postulate it perhaps the Anti-Tangle Technology in the V15 cleaner head is making it maybe a little less efficient at pickup on carpet. We have seen that kind of thing happen with some other machines that we've looked at, where we've seen a cleaner head with the anti-tangle technology not be quite as good at pickup as a cleaner head without that technology. Is it happening here? I don't know. Now in auto and boost power mode, these are all fairly similar. I think what is interesting here is your V15 has more power in auto mode and more power in boost mode than the V11, but we're not really seeing better numbers. You know, again, what could be happening there is, you know, this test involves a lot of debris that gets put down on the surface. Maybe we'd see the V15 come into its own in these two power modes with a lot more ground-in dirt. Having said all that, the V15 numbers are still pretty good. We performed the same kind of test on a tile floor, and again we compared the V15 to the V11. Now, one thing, the V11, the torque drive and the animal only come with this high torque cleaner head, so that's the one we used. With the V15 Detect, we were able to move over to this laser slim fluffy cleaner head. So these are the results of our hard floor test. And I think you can just see at first glance that there is a huge difference between V15 performance and V11 performance. In Eco mode, 84.4 versus 99.5. Auto mode, 93.4 versus 99.9. And even in boost mode, 96.0 versus 99.9. Now, what's happening here is that this soft cleaner head is really a great cleaner head for hard surfaces, whereas the high torque cleaner head, it's good for carpet, but fairly average on a hard floor. Now, one thing I should say, if you had something like a V11 and you bought this, either you got the V11 Absolute that came with it, or you bought one for your V11 torque drive or your V11 Animal, if you're using this cleaner head, well, I can tell you that all of the figures over here under the V11 column will be higher than 99%. So V15 cleaning performance on a hard floor, excellent. We were impressed with the run times we got on a hard floor. Now what we did in this test is we had a fully charged battery, we used the fluffy cleaner head, we held the trigger down, and with a stopwatch we determined just how long it took before the machine stopped. And we recorded them in this table here. Now, we've done that in the three power modes, Eco, Auto, and Boost. Here, in this column, manufacturer's numbers. So that's what Dyson is telling you you probably should get. Now, they say in Eco mode you should get about 60 minutes. Well, we tested it. We got 87 minutes and 45 seconds, quite a bit longer. Auto mode, manufacturer saying you should get about 30 minutes. Well, we got 43 minutes and 13 seconds, again, quite a bit longer. Boost mode, 12 minutes, says the manufacturer. 15 minutes and 22 seconds is what we got in our tile floor. Pretty impressive hard floor figures. I really like the LCD control panel here. It does a host of things. Now we can see that the machine's in Eco power mode. I can press the button and now we're in medium. It's showing medium as opposed to auto because we don't have a power tool on the end of the vacuum. And of course there is boost mode. Now it also tells you if there are issues. Now this outer purple ring here is the filter. If I loosen that off, you'll see, hey, filter is not sealed. Shows you what you need to do. So you can put that back and the message goes away. The other thing I really like is that you get remaining run time. Now I'm going to turn the vacuum on here. You can see at the bottom, 32 minutes, 26 seconds. That counts down in real time, tells you just how much battery life you have left before you're going to have to stop vacuuming and recharge the battery. Really handy feature. This bar chart is, I mean, it's interesting. I don't know that it's particularly useful. It's telling you how many particles are being encountered in the airflow and of what size. Some people may find the wand clip kind of handy. It allows you to carry a couple of non-motorized tools with you while you're vacuuming. Got a couple of tools here. You just pop them in like this, and this just attaches to the wand, and you can go ahead and vacuum. And if you need them, you can just pop one off and use it. Now, if you've got a really small place, it's probably not that of a big deal. Maybe you can just go over to the cupboard and get the tools. But if you have a larger place, pretty handy to have a couple of tools with you that you find you use a fair bit. A quick recap. We really like that the vacuum comes with two cleaner heads. You get the high torque cleaner head and the Laser Slim Fluffy Cleaner Head. And this one is specialized for hard floors. It's also really handy that the brush rolls can be easily removed from both of these for maintenance, and this one can even be rinsed in water. Now in the Laser Slim Fluffy Cleaner Head, you've got the laser feature, and it really is effective at highlighting hidden dust and debris on hard surfaces. The vacuum comes with Anti-Tangle Technology. It's in the high torque cleaner head and the hair screw tool. We've tested it on hair and it does a really good job. The click-in battery is very handy, especially if you buy a second one. Well, you're going to effectively double your runtime. The unit has powerful suction. In medium and boost mode, it's more than 20% more powerful than the V11 torque drive or the V11 Animal. We find it very maneuverable on carpet and on hard floors. That's the same with pretty much any of these Dyson cordless units. They're all pretty maneuverable. We like auto power mode. We pretty much just leave it in auto power mode when we do our vacuuming, and the V15 has an added feature in auto power mode. It is looking at the number of particles in the airflow entering the vacuum, and when that number increases, well, it increases suction and vice versa. Cleaning performance on carpet is good, cleaning performance on hard flooring is excellent, and run times on hard floors is very good. We did a test in an eco mode on our tile floor. We got close to an hour and a half of run time. Really like the LCD control panel on the back. It allows you to cycle through the different power modes. You get to see messages like there might be a blockage or there's an issue with the filter. But probably the most useful feature is the real-time runtime countdown. Very handy to know just how much time you've got left on the battery before the unit needs a recharge. We like the wand clip, allows you to carry around a couple of tools with you while you're vacuuming, and we find the unit easy to empty, same as the V10 and the V11, and you can also take that dust canister off for a wipe down if it needs it. So those are some of the things we really like about the Dyson V15 Detect. Now there are some things about this unit that we don't like, and you can see those in our video entitled Dyson V15 Detect, What We Dislike. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing.